Manecki's keen, he's only a fourth official. Start packing my bag, settle the nerves. What an unbelievable opportunity. What a ridiculous opportunity. If I am on the line today, that's terrifying. Hello. How's it going? So, I'm the fourth official at Forest Green versus Bristol Rovers tonight. How exciting is that? Working with 3 officials that have all officiated on the Premier League. It's kind of surreal to be saying that, to be honest, and I'm just getting ready to go out. Obviously, big game tonight. You got to look good to feel good, and to referee good, you got to feel good, right? Now, obviously, refereeing is not the same as being a fourth official, but you still got to be prepared. What if the ref gets injured? What if one of the ARs go down? You want to be in the right mental headspace going into a game, and I want to be ready for any circumstance that might pop up. So it's the morning of the game, and I'm going to go out and get a haircut because, like you say, I want to look my best going into this game. So I'm going to take you around in the day with me and show you guys what it's really like. Woohoo! Trim secured, looking a little bit fresher. Oh, got a text from the wife. What's she saying? Where are you? I'm at the shop, babe. I'm at the shop. I'm about to get a drink. I have got a mild, addiction is not the right word, fondness to this new drink that's out on the market called New Tonic. Don't know if you guys have ever tried it. Not sponsored. I just love the stuff. There it is. Have you guys tried this yet? It is honestly absolutely unbelievable. Keep me switched on, keep me alert on the sidelines. A few of you have also been asking about like warm-up routine. And I will do a full video of warming up, but a big underrated part of this is how you prep before you actually even go to the match. So for me, the feet are the base of everything you do. And so there's some really good work you can do before going out to a game to activate your feet, your Achilles. A lot of you might get pain right a lot on the bottom of your foot. Lunge position, knee over the top of that middle toe until you see that heel start to leave the floor, and then you're gonna come back. A lot of people will show you doing these raises, right, where you lift your feet off the floor. You can do it slightly differently here. You're gonna, rather than go all the way up to the top, you're gonna bring your feet down just off the floor, and you're gonna hold this for about 30 seconds. Another exercise I like to do before I go out, put your feet on the floor, and you're just gonna lift them up like so. Pushing into the balls of your feet, okay, really pushing into the ground. You're then gonna do this stretch, okay? You're gonna pop your foot on top of your leg, and you're gonna pull this big toe back up towards this knee. Then my favorite exercise, which is also, I would argue, the most difficult, you're gonna bring your leg up on again, just like you were with the stretch, but you're gonna basically try and get your foot to point up towards your face, okay? So you're gonna try and turn it to the point where your foot, solely your foot faces your head, your face. And then after I've done that, we go back into a calf stretch. And a lot of you will probably do this before a game anyway. But again, you're gonna stretch out, put that foot back, flat on the floor, and you're gonna push that heel back down into the floor, and you'll feel a stretch all the way down the back of your calf. So that's what I do to basically get ready before going out to a game. And I know what a lot of you are gonna be thinking already. Manecki's keen, he's only a fourth official. And number 37. Oh, don't want to lose you there. But if you fail to prepare, guys, you prepare to fail, all right? Fourth official, you could be the one called on when an official goes down injured. Number 2, Sydney, Agina. Okay, you're going to be the one who's got to deal with the benches. You're going to be the one who's very close to the crowd. You're going to be the one they shout and scream at if something goes wrong. And by being physically prepared, I feel mentally prepared. Okay, by going through all this preparation, I know that I've left no stone unturned and that I'm ready for anything that pops up during the game. So you might just be an assistant referee, you might just be a fourth official, but I think it's the wrong way to think about it. You're not just anything, right? You've got an important role in the game, no matter how big or small it may feel. And so do yourself a service and prepare properly. Also, by preparing properly, wash your kit in time, okay? Don't do it on the day of the flipping game. So, just got to start packing my bag. Terrible. I am absolutely buzzing. My word. My word. I get used to this vlog life, man. Got to get used to this. Guys, I'm so nervous. So nervous. What an unbelievable opportunity. What a ridiculous opportunity. You're probably thinking, Eric, how on earth has this game even come about? Well, I got a message from a current professional referee saying that he'd seen the content and I'd actually met him at a game where I'd been to watch the referee, and I was critiquing the referee to my mentor, and he was sat in front of me, turned around and said hello. So yeah, really, really cool. And he invited me to come along and be the fourth official for today's game. He's not actually one of the referees on the game, so it's not one of the referees that I'm working with today, but he was organising the referees, and so yeah, invited me down. So unbelievably grateful. But it's about an hour's drive. I've got to be there at 5:15. It's currently 3:15. So I think it's safe to say that I'm leaving enough time to get there. But yeah, let's crack on. Let's have a nice drive, settle down, get some food on the way, and just kind of settle the nerves. If you've not been to Gloucester Services, you're missing out on the best service station on the planet. I'm telling you now, it is the best service station, hands down. We got a harissa chicken, chickpea and pomegranate salad. Lovely bit of scran. Big old butcher counter over there, and they sell, quite frankly, the best Scotch eggs and sausage rolls you've ever seen. They absolutely bang. They absolutely bang, but not good to be eaten before a game. So I'm gonna have to give it a miss today. There are rumours that one of the officials might have to become the fourth. And that means I'd go on the line. Forest Green Bristol Rovers. That would be ridiculous. That would be ridiculous, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself. It's not a certainty, but it's just a rumour. Just a rumour, so we'll see what happens during the warm-up and when we get there, but that would be absolutely ridiculous. And just goes to show why you should prepare properly, even if you think you're just a fourth official, you know? If I am on the line today, that's terrifying and exciting. All at the same time, you know? Sounds ridiculous, but if I go and watch a football match, right, I'll put the bloody football boots in the car, just in case. You know, it sounds ridiculous, but that's how sad it is, you know? It's like, you've got to believe that these opportunities will come up and that you'll be the one to take them, you know? What a day. What a day for the boys. So this was an absolutely mental experience, really. Just look at the pitch. Look at the setup. Yeah, absolutely mad. So, as I said, the game's between Forest Green and Bristol. They're just all warming up, and you've got Mr. Savage observing his team before the kickoff. The attendance for this game was about 1,100, and then you'll see that's me walking out on the pitch with Sonny, who was the referee. Pretty surreal. I rocked up, meant to be the fourth official, and ended up running the line. So I was pretending to know what I was doing by checking the nets, and then we came back in for handshake and a minute's applause for Kevin Keegan. Luckily for me, all the fans were on this one side and behind the goal, so I had no fans behind me other than a few Forest Green players who weren't in the matchday squad. So it was a nice way to settle into this level of football as an assistant referee. The match footage is going to be like this for the whole game, so I'm just going to kind of talk you through the experience, how I was feeling and the kind of things I was focusing on. So we had a quick free kick there, which was a non-offside decision. And it was really just, trying to kind of ease into the game. There's a short corner here, so I'm trying to keep in line with the second to rearmost defender. And there's just so much going on, and the game is so much more fast-paced than what I'm used to. It was a real great experience to be able to do this, really. As I said, Sonny in the middle has officiated on the Premier League and mainly officiates on the Championship. We had Declan O'Shea on one line, who mainly officiates on League One and League Two, and then Sam Allison again, who officiates on the Premier League and the Championship. And then again here, I'm trying to stay in line, ready to make that offside decision. There was a lot of long balls, played into strikers, which you don't see a lot at the lower levels. You'll see long balls, but not targeted long balls into the striker's feet. A lot of the time it's a long ball in behind. And so there was a lot of this. Now, that kind of set its own challenge of being able to deal with potential flick-ons, because you've got defender and attacker both jumping for that ball, both competing for it, and there can easily be a flick-on where you've got to make an offside decision. And so that made it very, very difficult. So like that header there, you've got that flick on, and then you've got another tight offside decision to make. So you're watching one offside and then watching another one that follows up straight after. Here we had a free kick where I was waiting on the number 10. So I'm saying waiting on 10, waiting on 10. Sunny then is like no impact, so then I know to keep my flag down, I don't need to raise it. And Forest Green took a quick lever. They went 2-0 up in this game. It was clear that Bristol Rovers didn't have their strongest side out, but that quickly changed later on in the game. So we were only about 15 minutes in, I think, when they went 2-0 up, but it doesn't stay that way the whole time. So then with it being pre-season, we did have a water break, so I took the opportunity to come in and grab some water as well, and then headed back to the line. There was a multi-ball system here, and there wasn't any balls on my side, so we took that over. We ended up playing a little 1-2 with the ball boy. Another tight offside decision to make there from the number 20. It's clear to me that it wasn't offside, but it certainly was close. Look at that for a header. So this was an interesting situation from free kicks. You'll see that a couple of the Bristol Rovers players are standing in offside position, and the goal for them is to have that ball played into the box. They'll be in an offside position, but their teammates that are in an onside position will head the ball back across the box, and ideally they'll be ahead of the defenders that are supposed to be marking them. So that was a real interesting scenario as well, because you're watching for players who are offside, but the ball's not necessarily going to get played to them. So it's very important that I keep my flag down and don't get too excited about the fact that there's an offside decision to make. Same thing here, you'll see that ball getting played long and players offside coming onto an onside position back and forth all the time. And this isn't something you really see at my level typically, so it was a real challenge dealing with set pieces with a National League and a Football League side. We then headed in for the second half, had a quick debrief how the game was going, and then we were straight back out for the second half. I was really looking forward to this half because Forest Green had been on top for most of the game, so it meant I was likely going to have some more decisions to make, which I did. Making sure to stay in line here as that ball that he tries to play across could have been a very tight offside decision to make as well. Again, we have another tight offside decision to make there. I was giving it absolute beans trying to keep up with these guys. They are so quick, so quick. So I was thinking back, this is just such a ridiculous experience. Officiating a Football League team is just ridiculous. It's just absurd, really. Absolutely absurd. There's just a nice throw-in signal for you. And then credit to Sam, who had to manage, I think it was 9 substitutions. So yeah, fair play for that. It was quite impressive.
9 substitutions coming on for Forest Green.
And then I get my first offside decision of the game, finally. I think this came in about the 60th minute. This player just got ahead of play, and so offside on the far side. Arm straight above the head, and then signal that it's on the far side of the pitch. Another tight offside decision to make there, but he is onside, and then I have to make a decision on the goal line, whether it's a goal kick or a corner. It was a goal kick, and then we check that the player is okay. Make sure he doesn't need treatment after that nasty collision with the sideboards. Another tight offside decision to make here. So although I only gave 1 offside in the game, there were a few tight non-offsides that I had to give. And I'm really happy with how I kind of, handled the game really as a whole. And although Forest Green were on top for a large portion of the game, as I said, this did kind of change when Bristol Rovers made 11 changes. They subbed out the entire team for the last 20 minutes.
The field is the entire team.
Whilst we were doing the changes, we did also have a water break, and then as I said, the game kind of changed. So it was 2-2 at the time, and then Bristol Rovers really came out, all guns kind of blazing, and ended up getting 1 back. Another offside decision to make, but onside. And then not long after, Bristol go on the attack, late into stoppage, and score an absolute screamer to bring it to 2-2. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was full time. What a ridiculous experience. We did unfortunately have a little bit of afters after the game, but nothing to really report, to be honest. But it was a real great experience. Can't really believe that I officiated a Football League side during pre-season. Massive shout out to the referee that invited me along. I really appreciate it, and hopefully get the same opportunity next season if it presents itself. Highly recommend if you ever get the opportunity to take it. Crazy. What a way to start off pre-season, eh? Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next week.